How are things down there in Miami? Because, gee, I'm racking my brain. Has a city ever lost two different championships in back-to-back nights? I don't know. I imagine it's just devastation across the entire region. Just dead nightlife and clubs and restaurants closed. So many people in mourning. I mean, the hardcore fans down there, they have been following these teams probably since the beginning of May. I mean, 6 whole weeks. That's the new love phase. Very hard when something so fresh and new for people is just snuffed out so unceremoniously and so quickly.
You're trying to kick us while we're down? That's what you're trying to do?
Well, I'm trying, but nobody's ever really down in Miami. Come on. You all have the weather. You got the beach. You got the food. You got the drugs. You got the sheer level of attractiveness of your entire citizenry, present company excluded, of course, mostly. I can see, Dan, why you have turned Miami into your fiefdom, because it's just paradise. But there can be no pleasure without consequence, right? Without sacrifice, which is why Miami is also a magnet for the most insane that could ever be forced to wade through.
Yes, that's true.
I mean, just yesterday, the traveling Trump carnival rolled into town, just down the road from y'all. Isn't that right?
That is correct. You must have thoughts on the freak show that is always trailing Trump.
Well, yeah, it's worse than a freak. Freak show is a big compliment. This is like a low-rent carnival. It's a geek show, is what geek. There, look at it, geek show. The kind of costume folks who will excitedly bite off the heads of chickens, just so long as they're imagining the birds to be members of a persecuted minority, or the Capitol Police. I guess either one.
Yeah, either one.
You know, just nightmare clowns from a Rob Zombie movie. These people worship, of all people, Trump. They worship Trump, Dan. It was basically an elderly open mic comedian in the outer boroughs doing bad racist improv into whatever microphone will have him. I mean, it would be really stupid if it wasn't also the greatest threat to American democracy perhaps ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Two things can be true at once. Let's be mature here. Two things can be true. So it's incredibly stupid, and it's the greatest threat to American democracy.
And what are your thoughts on the charges? You think these are going to be the charges that stick, or what?
Well, let's analyze. Let's go to the tape. They have him on tape basically saying, folks, I'm committing a crime right now. Folks, crime, committing it. Or more accurately, folks, I'm about to show you. My Trump needs work. Let me take another.
No, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's a good Trump.
Folks, I'm about to show you would not have been a crime when I was president, but now I'm not president. It is a crime to possess this and to show it to you folks. Is that not cool? Do you not think that I'm cool, folks? Cool, me, cool. I mean, unbelievably pathetic. Waving around nuclear secrets to impress the likes of Antonio Sabato Jr. That's what he did. Remember the days when we all thought that Trump was stupid like a fox, that he was playing five-dimensional chess? Turns out the guy can't even play Connect Four. Okay? Diagonal confuses him. Keeps getting distracted trying to put the little tokens in by shoving satellite photos of America's secret military installations into our face. But will he be convicted? Right?
That was the question. That was the question I asked.
Yeah.
Yes.
No is the answer. No chance. Because he is right about one thing. Two systems of justice in this country. He belongs to the one where if you're rich enough, you can buy your way out of consequence, because you can't pull 12 sane Americans in Florida to serve on a jury. I'm saying 10-2 mistrial.
That's true.
Whenever this thing wraps up.
Yes.
Excuse me. But I have a very important question about this whole thing for you, Dan, since you are my local Florida expert. Does this story of this alleged crime and all its headlines, does it officially turn Donald Trump, the famous New Yorker, into Florida Man? Is he Florida Man?
Oh, that's a good question. Florida Man is always the most famous of the criminals in the headlines that have perpetual weirdness in them. So, yeah, I think that's a pretty good I don't know whether he goes from New York to Florida, but he is a Florida man in spirit.
Well, let's reason through this, because to me, to be Florida Man requires three things, okay? First, you need an incredible newspaper headline, one that really commands your attention with its gobsmacking, ridiculous criminality.
So I would say that ex-president steals state secrets and hides them in his get. That qualifies as number one. So check on that.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. One down.
All right.
Second, the crime itself has to be unbelievably stupid. No, see, he's got this one handily.
Yep.
Right.
In the indictment, one of his lawyers says that Trump
It is. It's great.
I gotta, to Donald. I gotta drink a little toast to Donald Trump.
It is. It's great and it's terrible. It's
Nothing could be
amazing.
funnier than the actual reality of it. So in the indictment, one of his lawyers said that Trump asked the lawyer to steal a classified document by silently making a grabbing gesture. What's known as a yoink. That's the yoink. He tried to get his own lawyer to commit a felony through a game of charades.
Yeah.
Amazingly stupid. Double check. Discount double check. Okay. Lastly, and here comes the tough one. To be the Florida man, the story has to involve an alligator somehow. Got to be an alligator.
Ah, see, that's where your theory falls apart. No alligators yesterday when Mike Ryan was close to being tear gassed.
I know. I know. I was really. You know what though? It's so close. The stupid son of a bitch has got to done something idiotic with gators around at one point. I'm gonna Google Trump, dumb, and gator, alligator. Oh, right away. There we go. 2019. I'm gonna quote here.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. This is a real story.
Okay.
New York Times. New York Times. I swear. Privately, the president has often talked about fortifying a border wall with a water-filled trench stocked with alligators, prompting aides to seek a cost estimate.
Okay.
That's a real story from the Times.
That's not real. Hold on, let me
Is
Google
it
That's
it.
real.
It's real.
Trump,
It is
he's
real.
Florida man. Trump is Florida man.
All right.
Let's change
All
all
right.
those headlines just to Trump.
Brockmire, stay there. I want to talk sports with you. I want to talk some basketball and some baseball with you. Stay there. We're going to come back with you after this.
I just saw the headline.
Yeah, it's true.
All right. Oh, it's totally true.
I mean, what were you laughing about, and why did you just mutter during the break, shoot migrant legs? Is that what the phrase I just heard you mutter into the microphone when we were off air?
This is the New York Times, the paper of record. The headline is "Shoot Migrants' Legs, Build Alligator Moat Behind Trump's Ideas for Border." I thought Brockmire was just a drunk.
No. He comes with accurate information.
Again, two things can't be true. I am a drunk, and that is real.
Your thoughts on the NBA Finals. Surely you have some thoughts, because I couldn't even get you last week to talk about baseball because you wouldn't shut up about basketball.
Yeah, you know I love the NBA Finals. Saw Mike Ryan yesterday, though, blaming the gentleman's sweep on referee Tony Brothers, Ryan? What, as if Miami didn't get any calls in this series? One of the last plays of the game was Aaron Gordon getting called for a 3-shot foul for having the audacity, the gumption, to get kicked in the nuts by Jimmy Butler.
That's true.
After all that, Ryan, you're still playing the ref card, huh?
Yep, he is.
His balls
Well,
should have
I s-
given Jimmy a spot to land.
Yeah, good point. Very good point. I call that hogwash, poppycock,
Yeah.
and codswallop.
Oh,
That's
really?
right.
Cod
Yeah,
Swallow as
codswallop.
well. Really?
In that order.
Codswallop.
Because the Nuggets were flat out better. And to prove it, you know what? I'm going to back this up. I'd like to use my favorite analytical stat. You kids, you love the analytics. Okay, here's the stat you can always rely on. It's called wins and losses. Those numbers, boy,
Yeah.
they generally help show you which are the better team.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, last 10 games, Miami Heat's record was 3 wins and 7 losses.
That's right.
Follow the numbers here.
Yeah.
Okay, not too good.
All right.
Hard to accomplish for a team that makes it to the
It
finals.
really is, actually.
I mean, remarkable in its wretchedness. Now let's look at the Nuggets' record over the last 10 games. 10, I said 10 games. Here's to you. It's 10 games, not 10 games. You're doing
That's
a show.
right. 10 games.
Last 10 games, 9-1. Yeah, one team was out over its skis with its white-hot shooting and came back down to earth. And the other, historically great, seems that way to me, and they're just getting started.
That is accurate, and they're just getting started because of Jokic. You're as flabbergasted by him as the rest of us are, correct?
Yeah, I mean, it's not just because I'm pretty drunk, which I am, but he's just amazing. I love him. I mean, when your most talented player is also your most unselfish player, that's when you win in basketball. His teammates just fly around knowing they know that their effort is going to be rewarded with the ball. How many superstars can you say that about? Only the thing more remarkable than his amazing performance to win the championship was his complete lack of interest in celebrating.
It was.
Did you see
It really
that?
was amazing.
He literally was like, I just want to go home. I just want to go home. Why? You know why? Because he loves his horses so goddamn
That's
much.
right.
How about that?
That's correct.
What's with these? Like a 12-year-old girl who hides in a stall all day drawing in her journal. I have a theory on that. I think I know why. Because when you're just the biggest thing anywhere you've ever gone, sometimes it's nice to feel small, isn't it? You're carrying your family and your country and your franchise and your. I said franchise, not franchise. I got to do a shot.
Yeah, that is not another shot, Brockmire. Come on.
No, it helps. It helps.
No, it doesn't help. You're getting worse.
It helps a lot.
It doesn't help.
You're carrying all these things, including your adopted home. Sometimes you just want something to carry you, don't you? Because strong men, they need to feel supported too. Dan, you know what I'm talking about. You're a big, strong fella. You got a lot on your shoulders. Sure, you've gone into a pool with a lady friend, maybe your good lady wife at some point, and just hugged on her for a while. You know, you use the lack of gravity in the water, let her fully support your full body weight. Body weight.
That's not
body
right,
weight.
Dude. That's not right. You're getting drunker. Please, that
You
wasn't
feel
a
the
shot.
same-
That was just a sip of your Sazerac.
I'm out of shots. I only lined up 3.
You thought you were only going to make 3 mistakes.
Back to the drink.
I'm back to the mothership. Back to the mothership. But Dan, you know, seriously, you want to feel the safety and the protection that you haven't known since you were a child. I mean, I know that. Admit it, you've done that. You've been in the
Yes, I
pool
have
with
done
your
that.
good lady wife,
Okay.
and she held you.
Yes, gravity.
Like the
You
like the
mentioned
big,
all of that. Yes,
the
thank
big
you.
horribly dressed teddy bear that you
Yes,
are.
thank you.
The lack of gravity.
I wear my shirt in the pool as well. Can we get to baseball, please? Please.
Sure.
We're supposed to have a segment with you. It's supposed to be.
I know.
You get a minute to do a baseball segment.
Last week you called it ball for 1 minute.
Yes.
Give me 60 seconds to summarize an entire week of the greatest game ever invented.
Yes, 1 minute of
'cause
baseball.
1 minute. Basketball's over. Football yet to begin. We're the only game in town now. We haven't even gotten to the NBA draft at the beginning of NFL training camp. It's like 9 days here where sports fans have to pay attention to us. You have to.
It's 30
they got
seconds.
no choice.
You're down to 30
all right,
seconds
okay.
now.
I thought Oakland A's. Oakland A's. I highlighted them last week for their incompetence.
7-game winning streak since you
7-0.
since you ripped them. Yes.
Longest winning streak in baseball. And just last night, the Oakland fans threw a reverse boycott where they drew the biggest crowd of the year yet to gather and fight for their A's by leading chants directed at owner John Fisher to sell the team.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Watching them shout out their love for their community and their game.
All right. We
And
gotta
it gave
go.
me-
We gotta go, Brockmire.
come on,
Time's
gotta
up. We gotta
go.
get out of here with you. Enough.
I'm not even as lit as I usually get.
Next week, we'll talk to you again next week.
Sure, as long as the checks keep clearing, which they have, or until you start showing up to work in like a dirty, loose robe, which at this rate will probably be by August, right?
Thank you, Brockmire. Good talking to you. Good seeing you again. We will talk to you again next week. Enjoy the drinks.
Skol. Skol.
Yes, he is just hammered beyond all reason here. Thank you for being on with us. No, you're not going to be in about 15 seconds because of the Sazerac.